Hello. No, Adam, I just had lunch before I did this. That's why I gave myself a little bit of time before this live stream to make sure I had lunch in me. You don't want to see me cranky on here. Sweet. Looks like 11, 12 people. Sweet. Let me know if y'all can hear me okay. I'm going to vamp for a second and share this live stream out on all the socials and such. You can hear me. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Live streaming always is tricky. I never know if it's going to work or not work. It's an adventure every time. Though I will say StreamYard is the best I've found at it. All right, one more social post and then I'm good. Sweet. Okay, all done. Good to see everybody today. We got a lot to go through today. I was thinking of all the videos that I need to make. I wanted to talk about the WP Awards. I think today is the last day you can vote in that. So I thought we'd go through my personal ballot together and talk about some of the products on there. As of this morning, since today is the 24th, almost everybody's Black Friday deals have dropped and gone live now. I thought about doing some videos on this leading up to now, but there were so many deals that weren't live yet. I didn't want to go over all of them until you actually had the opportunity to snag some of them. So we'll go over some of that. And then I wanted to show you kind of behind the scenes on the class that I've been putting together. It's almost done at this point, and I thought I'd show you some kind of behind the scenes stuff there. And then I also got a ton of YouTube videos all queued up and ready to go. There's a bunch of stuff. I think I'm scheduled out for the remainder of this year. So I think there's 5 or 6 videos that are recorded and scheduled, but not quite live yet. So thought we'd talk about some of those. Generate Blocks doing a new update right now, which is pretty exciting. So lots of stuff to go through on there. Sweet. We got Adam here. We got Aaron here. Hello, Aaron. Good morning. Matt is here. Sweet. Matt's here twice. Good. That's bumping up the numbers. I do appreciate that. All right. I'm going to share my screen here. And we're just going to be fairly chill here today. Thought we'd just start out with going over the WP Awards. This is something I'm going to see if I can bring up the comments too. So definitely throw comments, talk about stuff in the chat. I will try my best to keep up with that and engage with some of those things. We can talk about some of the stuff. But the WP Awards, I think this is the 4th or 5th year now of this. And the Admin Bar Facebook group has been lucky enough to win this, I think, 4 years in a row now. So hope it's either 3 or 4. I can't remember now. But hoping we win it again. So this is my shameless plug to get y'all to come over to the WPweekly.com/awards. Maybe you can fill in your ballot as I'm filling in mine here. I thought we'd talk through all these different categories. Maybe we can find some cool tools to check out. But the Admin Bar is listed down here in number 23 under WordPress community right there. If you want to go and submit for that, that would be awesome. I'm always so nervous this time of year, especially when voting's just about to end, that nobody's going to go vote. They're going to think we have it in the bag and then not vote, and then we're going to have 0 votes. So thank you, Melanie, for voting for Tab. I appreciate that. I like to brag on our homepage that we were theadminbar.com, that we were voted the #1 WordPress community. And I don't want to have to take that down, mostly because I don't want to have to think of another headline for our website because that's too difficult. All right, so let's jump in here. WP Weekly, if you're not subscribed, they have an awesome newsletter. It comes out every Monday. Got mine this morning, actually. So it's a good one to be signed up for anyways, and I'm sure you get signed up to that if you submit your ballot on here. But of course, if you just want to submit and unsubscribe, you can do that as well. So let's see here. We'll start at the top. I'll zoom in my screen here just so it's easier to see on screen share. Try to get it to where I'm not covering any of it up. All right, WordPress themes. No surprise for me. I'm going to go with Generate Press on this one. Let's see, what other ones have I used? I've used Astra. I think I've played with Bloxy, but I haven't really used it. Hello theme, I used some when I used Elementor. And it looks like there's other Hello themes now that I didn't even know about. Cadence theme, I've used the free, no, I think I've used the pro version of that as well. So I've used that on a couple little projects. And then the rest of these, I don't even know if I've heard of all of these. since I've kind of landed on Generate Press, I haven't messed with much else. So we'll go with Generate Press for that. All right, page builders, Avada, Beaver, Breakdance, Bricks, Brizzy. I'm not using any of these. I've used Elementor, I've used Beaver Builder, I've used Oxygen. I've had clients with WP Bakery and Visual Composer. That's always fun. But I think I'll go no choice on this one because I don't use any of these. So I'm not going to cloud up anybody else's chances of winning here by voting for the wrong thing. So we've got some Cadence users in the house. Melanie and Matt both saying Cadence. So block builders, here we go. This is where y'all would definitely go Cadence. But for me, it's Generate Blocks. No surprise. If you've watched this YouTube channel before, you know that. But what else we got on here? Co-blocks, I've not used that. Content blocks builder, not used that. Croco blocks, I've not used their blocks. Not used Essential or Grade. Use Cadence. Maxi, man, I don't think I've used any of these. I've used Spectra. I've used a little bit of Stackable, but not very much to be able to share much of an opinion on it. So I guess I'm kind of biased here, but I've not spent time with many of these others. All right, form plugins. I definitely got a favorite on this one, but let's see what we got. I've used Fluent. I have an LTD for Fluent, and I've used that on quite a bit of projects. So I still have to get in there now and then when I hop into a client site that's using Fluent still. But for me, it is WS Form for the win. I switched there. I guess it's been 2 full years now because I just renewed my license like a day or two ago. And it's been awesome. Their new style builder is really great. I put out a video on like getting started with WS Form. It's on my channel. But Mark does such a good job with not only support, but just new features. There's so many integrations and everything. They're running a good deal right now, which we'll talk about when we go over the Black Friday stuff, but it's been huge. Paying a lot of attention to accessibility and all the updates. So that is all well and good. All right, Matt says, at least you know GB will stick around. A little bit worried about Cadence since Ben left. I know that's sad to see Ben leaving there. I wonder, I don't know. It seems like that parent company has had lots of layoffs. I've known several people that work there that got laid off. So I don't know what's going on there, but I did get to meet Ben once in an airport, in the Portland airport, I think. We were going through security at the same time together, and I introduced myself to him, and he's a super nice guy. So not sure what he's up to now, but wishing him the best. Melanie says Gravity Forms. Yep, there's a lot of people that got into Gravity Forms under a good license and is very scared to let that go, and I guess I can't blame you on that. All right, dynamic data plugins. Let's see. I'm going ACF Pro, but I don't know if I've used many other ones. I've used Beaver Themer when I was using Beaver Builder. I've played with Metabox before, but I've never used it for a project. I've played with Toolset before, and Pods, both of those before I started using ACF. And Toolset was really cool at the time, and this has been years ago. You could do a whole lot of stuff with Toolset that you couldn't do with some of the others, but it was like way over my head in terms of you needed to be much more of a developer than I was to use Toolset. So it didn't stick for me, but I imagine ACF Pro will run away with this. I think in the past versions, let's see, we're on number 5. I don't know if we can go back to the last copies of this, but I think ACF, they might have been like the overall winner for most votes. So I suspect they will do well in their category here. Got a couple Metabox users. Elementor add-ons. Man, I have so many of these from when I was using Elementor that I think I got lifetime deals to. One that I think I still have to pay for, but I'm not. I think I have 2 or 3 sites left with Elementor. I don't mess with it, so no choice for me. I do own a Bricks license. I've never used it on a project. I've got in there and played around with it, but never used it, so I wouldn't know about any of these add-ons. Backup and migration plugins. Fun fact, the most popular video on my entire channel is a video on Blog Vault. In fact, if we go to YouTube, the admin bar, and videos, popular. Oh, look, it got overtook. It was the most popular on my channel for a long time. In fact, that's me in my old house in Texas. 49,000 views. How to migrate a WordPress website. But it looks like this Cloudflare one has overtaken it. But I still use Blog Vault to migrate all my sites. It works really, really well. It's free. You put in an email address and you're done. So actually, that's Migrate Guru. Sorry. Same company. So yeah, I'll go with Migrate Guru for that. I have used all-in-one migration quite a bit, but you got to buy their add-on unless it's basically a blank site. You can't use the free version. Used Updrafts for backups for a while. All right, SEO plugins. So right now, I'm pretty much using Slim SEO on just about every new install. In fact, I think that's what's in my starter site right now is Slim SEO. For most of the stuff I'm doing, it's fine. It's page descriptions, meta descriptions, page titles, redirects, some no indexing pages, like the things that you're doing 9 times out of 10 on a page. Slim SEO does all those, and it pretty much gets out of the way. But I do have a lifetime license for SEO Press Pro, which I'll use on quite a few sites. Or if we're doing more in-depth SEO stuff, I'll go with SEO Press. I like it quite a bit. I did buy Rank Math, I think like the first year it was out, but I let that license expire. It just, I don't know, the interface didn't work with me. I guess I was just so programmed to SEO Press. I was so used to it. We got another vote for SEO Press here. Matt's also using SEO Press. Sam's using SEO Press. Got a lot of love for that. Yeah, I know a lot of people really like Rank Math, and when it came out, a bunch of people switched over to it. I'm not sure if they had a really good deal or what, but it seems like everybody was talking about Rank Math. I don't hear it quite as much anymore, but it's worked really well for me. Look at that. Lots of SEO pressers on this one. Rank Math AI is good. I haven't checked that out. Nice. All right, security plugins. This is not my area expertise, so we'll see. I know I've used Malcare before. I've used Solid Security before. I've used WordFence before, but for me, I moved everything over to PatchStack. So I bought, I think it was PatchStack's. Let's see, they were on AppSumo when they first launched, and I bought an AppSumo lifetime deal, and I think it was only like 10 sites. And then last year during Black Friday, I grabbed PatchStack's Black Friday offer, and I ended up moving over all my sites over to PatchStack, and I've been super happy. They take care of everything, and I don't have to think about security. It's all virtually patched for me. Go update plugins, and I'm good to go. So it's been great. I never have to log in or mess with anything, and I've not, knock on wood, had any problems since I moved everything over. Hello, Taylor. Good to see you here. All right, membership and LMS. You know what? I think for all the membership sites I've done, I've just cobbled together stuff on my own, especially now we have all the display conditions with generate blocks. You can do most of the membership stuff there because you can hide or show things depending on if somebody's logged in or what like user role they have on the website. So I've pretty much just done it all that way. I think the only thing that's lacking from like cobbling together those systems on your own is, what's up, Jonathan? Is just redirecting people to the right place. So like if you have members and you want to, when they log in, you want to take them to their dashboard or something, but you can get ChatGPT to write a script for that pretty easily and say, hey, if this user type logs in, redirect them to this URL. So I've really not messed with too many of these membership plugins because I was able to kind of put everything together on my own. We can see the Shure family of products have something in like every category in here now, which is interesting. I've not used it, but it looks nice. All right, marketing automation plugins. Don't use any of these, I don't think. I went through this list earlier, and I don't think I'm using any of these. I know Bitflows has been sponsoring the newsletter, so I've looked at some of their stuff. I'd like to check it out just because I'm not a huge like Zapier fan. It just kind of breaks my brain. But all this kind of being in WordPress might make me more apt to use it instead of having to like log in and go somewhere else. So I'd like to check that out. Maybe I'll check out their Black Friday deal because it is 45% off. Just have to see if it integrates with all the things I would need to integrate. I forget to automate things and just end up doing mindless tasks constantly. Jonathan says Fluent CRM is great. Yeah. Some of these, I had a lot of people comment about that in the group about how some of these things are grouped together. One, I would say for Devinder's sake, this is probably like a really hard thing to put together and fit everybody into the right category. So I'll give him a break for that because I can't imagine doing all this. But the other thing is people complain like, oh, well, the thing I use isn't in there. All of these are nominations. So if we go back to the top here, we can see open for nominations was July 29th to September 19th. So everything that was on here was nominated by somebody. So if your plugin or service of choice isn't on here, it's because you didn't nominate it. All right, developer tools. So here's another kind of mixed bag here. Accessibility Checker is one that I use and love. They got a good Black Friday deal. Theirs just went live today. I know Taylor's a fan of Block Studio here, and we got Matt on the call for CheckView. I think I'll have to give my vote to CheckView. This is awesome. I added this to all my care plans. It's been over a year ago now. But basically, you set up all your forms through CheckView, and it will go test your forms at whatever cadence you pick. So I think I check most of mine weekly, and then I think I have a couple of them that check daily. But it just runs automated tests through your form. So it actually goes through and fills out all of the different fields in your form and submits it and makes sure that the emails get sent and all that. But if you've ever had that problem of a client calling you and saying, hey, my forms aren't working, and you have no idea how long they've not been working, CheckView fixes that for you. So for me, it's just been a huge peace of mind thing to add to my care plans to say like, hey, every week I'm testing your forms for you to make sure they're working. That way you're not going to lose any leads. So I think CheckView is going to get my vote on that one. And not just because Matt's here, but probably because Matt's here too. But like I said, Accessibility Checker is another good one that I use a whole lot. And I love Amber and her crew over there. All right, let's see. E-commerce tools. I don't use any of these. We just had a comment on the stream a minute ago about me doing a video on Generate Blocks and WooCommerce. I've never done it, so couldn't tell you. I don't use WooCommerce. So no WooCommerce add-ons either. All right, hosting services. As we can see, there is a bazillion of these. I've used Cloudways. Right now, I would say I'm probably happiest with a good number of my sites over on rocket.net, even though they're kind of like buyout to hosting.com or however that works. It's got me a little bit nervous. Service has been absolutely fine ever since everything changed or whatever's happened. I've not noticed any changes. In fact, when the whole internet went down the other day because of Cloudflare, I think all of my sites went down except for the ones on rocket.net. Those were not affected. So that was awesome. I don't think they're on here. The admin bar's website is using Big Scoots right now. So I switched the admin bar site over here to Big Scoots because I've been chatting with those folks. It's funny though, if we go into my search console, let's see, the admin bar, Core of Vitals. This site could use some optimizations, but you can literally see the times I switched over to Big Scoot. So here I had a bunch of URLs that needed improvement. Here is the day I switched to Big Scoots, and that went way down. And then they actually did like an optimization service for me over the next few days. They got everything optimized, and you can see the chart just completely flip-flopped. All of my URLs are good now. None of them need improvement or are poor. And you can just literally see on the chart the day it switched. So they've been really, really good. It is more expensive, especially with the optimization service. Go to the pricing. So I think if you have 10 sites, it's about the same price as Rocket, about $10 a site. But what I did was their performance package, which is $20 a month. So it's like double the cost of the hosting. But that's literally what made that chart flip. They went in there and did a whole bunch of optimizations and got everything set up. And that site, I'm logged into it right now, but everything just loads super, super quick. I've been really, really happy. So like I said, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's been really great. What did Matt say? The Big Scoots is a jam. Their optimization service they offer is a productized and awesome using Perf Matters. They give you the license. Yeah, they did say that when I was having them do all those optimizations. They said that they can just use their Perf Matters license. So that's pretty cool. They've been really great. They're not on here, but I'll give my vote to Rocket. They've been awesome. Performance plugins. Let me just search quickly for Perf Matters. Just mentioned Perf Matters. Absolutely love it. Brian at Perf Matters is awesome. Their support is the best in the business. Anytime I've had trouble, I email over to their support and they get me fixed up right away. So Perf Matters has been awesome. And they just released a new update the other day where you can actually put in all your code snippets through Perf Matters, which is pretty cool. They do like a flat file structure, so it's a little bit more secure and performance minded. But Perf Matters continues to be awesome, so they get my vote. All right, content output tools. I don't know that I use any of these. I'm not even sure what a content output tool. Oh, I use Presto Player. I don't love the way Presto Player works, but it does make all my videos work look nicer, and I can have like private library of videos inside of Bunny, bunny.net. So I use this like for our table membership. I put all the videos into bunny.net and use Presto Player to publish those on our membership site. I don't think I use any of the other of those. All right, agency tools. This one will be hard because I know I'm going to have to pick between a couple friends here. This is kind of another grab bag of tools. WP Umbrella is what I've been using for probably about a year now. I moved off of Blog Vault to WP Umbrella. Been super happy with it. They just introduced the scheduled updates a couple months ago, and that's been kind of the last thing I was waiting for. The reporting's really great. The interface is super nice. They got a good Black Friday deal going too. That's not only for their new customers, but for existing customers as well. We'll look at that. But I got to give this to my friends at Termageddon. Hans and Donata are awesome. What they've done with Termageddon is great. Full disclosure, they're also my client. So of course I'm going to pick them, but Termageddon's awesome. I don't have to think about privacy policies at all. I just send my clients directly to them and it's all taken care of. And their new dashboard is really, really cool. Doing awesome stuff over there. All right, WP support and services. I don't think I use any of these. Oh yeah, Monster contracts too. I didn't see that on the list, but yes, I also use Monster contracts. Melanie, we share a lot of the same tools. All right, WordPress blogs. Dang, there's a bunch of these. I would say the one I probably visit the most is the repository. I do get their email. Their newsletter's great. It comes out on Fridays. But I end up going to their site quite a bit. They have really good articles on here. Ray Morey, who runs this, she's a journalist, like a legit journalist, not a blogger. So these articles are like researched well, and she has sources and all kinds of stuff, but they're really, really well done, especially on like the ins and out of WordPress ecosystem and like the WordPress, the platform more than like what we do with it as agency owners, but really, really good stuff. She's doing awesome work. So she'll get my vote. Podcasts, again, got some friends on here. Accessibility Craft, that's the folks over at Equalize Digital. So Amber and her crew, Do the Woo, they got 1 million podcasts. They're great. Kitchen Sink, Adam Silver, that's a good one. WP Minute's been going on for a long time. That's a good one. But for me, WP Builds, I pretty much listen to This Week in WordPress every week. I miss a few here and there, but I caught up on last week's yesterday while I was cleaning the house. So this is one of my favorite podcasts. Nathan Wrigley is awesome. They do really good work. So they get my vote. And of course, WordPress community, boom, we're going to pick the admin bar and make sure we submit this here. All right, YouTube channel. Hard to pick because, again, some friends on the list. So I'll just vote for myself and say the admin bar's YouTube channel. Thanks, Craig. I appreciate you voting. Vote often. I'll pick myself just so I don't have to pick other friends here, but definitely some good channels on this list. Learning resources. Actually, the admin bar has 2 inside here, Barfly membership and the website owner's manual. I don't suspect the Barfly membership will get very many votes since there's not a ton of members. But if you want to go check that out, you can go to barfly.theadminbar.com. This is our kind of like Patreon type community. We have a happy hour call once a month where we all kind of get on a call and have a topic and chit chat. And we do webinars once a month. We've done some giveaways. We have a proposal swap in here that has like 100 different agency proposals, 101 agency proposals in our vault. So if you want to see what other agencies' proposals look like, they're all in there. we have a Slack channel and stuff like that. So if you're not a part of that and want to come join us, it's $10 a month. You can join in on there. But I'll give my vote to the WOM. What's up, Hans? You just missed us talking about Termageddon literally seconds ago. But look, I'll prove to you that I voted for Termageddon. Let's get up here. Boom, there we go. My vote's on Termageddon. All right. So after I voted for myself a bunch of times, events, booking, planning, plugins. This is easy for me. Pi Calendar. And we got Jonathan on the call today. Pi Calendar is awesome. It is the easiest way to add events and calendars to your website. Basically, you can just create events by using the native post, or you can create a custom post type. All you have to do is toggle a little button and say, hey, put this on my calendar. They have a calendar block with all these different views on it, so you can change the different ways to display all of your events. They also have short codes, so if you use like a page builder and don't use blocks, you can get it on the you can get it on your page as well. We got a Pi Life. That's Jonathan's product. Really, really good though. Love Pi Calendar. They just came out with some really good updates as well, and they got a Black Friday deal going right now and a lifetime deal. So no reason to not stack up on Pi Calendar right now. All right, AI tools. I don't think I use any of these. Dashboard, config, and social plugins. Let's see. I use the social share plugin that Brian at Perf Matters has, but I don't use it that often. I would say WP Extended for me, especially since Taylor's here. So shout out to Taylor. He's involved in this product along with Dan. Really cool tool to completely customize the WordPress dashboard, do a bunch of optimizations and stuff like that. It's all very, very nicely done and well laid out, and works really well. I have this on a few sites and really like it. So definitely go check that out. I'm sure they got a Black Friday deal. Let's see, 40% off all plans right now. All right, so they'll get my vote on that. Niche plugins. Here's another grab bag. I don't know that I use any of these. Motion.page, I know some people use. I don't think I use any of these though. There we go. Time to submit the vote. That is it. Let's submit it. Boom. Thanks. We're done. Awesome. And I would really, really appreciate it if y'all go in there and fill that out. I think today is the last day, like I said. Matt gives a vote for Pi Calendar. Yeah, David, go check out WP Extended. It's pretty neat. You can do all kinds of stuff for it. I know as we got comments in here, I think ASE does similar type things. I really like WP Extended's interface. It's super, super nice. And of course, Dan and Taylor are great. So I definitely want to support them. All right, let's see. What's up next? Our Black Friday deals. So this page is up. Let's see how many deals we got listed on here. This site is not on Big Scoots, and it's kind of slow right now. All right, we can close. I didn't want to close that out. Man, this is dying on me slow. I know we're over 100 different deals on here. Cheers, Taylor. Good to see you here. Oh, great. Site can't be reached. There we go. Deals. All deals. 132 deals published right now. So a whole bunch of them on here. So mentioned WS Form. That's what I'm using for all of mine. Right now, they got 30% off any of theirs. So the agency, which is what I have, usually $249, you get it for $174. Freelance, you get for $104, and personal for $41. I would highly recommend WS Form. If you're not in love with your form plugin, it is worth it. It's really, really good. And like I said, the support, Mark is awesome. He's always adding new features to this. Every time I talk to him, he's in the middle of coding something incredible. So he is very dedicated to this plugin. I think that's one thing that, like, I don't know, a lot of these that we mentioned, Termageddon, Pi Calendar, Check View, WP Extended, like, I really like supporting these people who are kind of like independent plugin or software developers that are so dedicated to their customers. So many of these big plugins just get bought out from one firm to another, and price goes up and features never get better. And I just like supporting good people. So WS Forms definitely goes in that category. Like I mentioned, Pi Calendar, their latest update gave a integration to Eventbrite. So if you want to sell tickets, you can directly integrate PyCalendar with Eventbrite, and it will sync those things back and forth. You can also sync things back and forth with Google Calendar. So if you wanted to just set up a calendar on Google Calendar and import that all into your PyCalendar calendar, you can do all that with like a click of a button, copy and paste a URL, and you're done. It's really, really neat. And I know Jonathan and his partner are hard at work making this as good as it can be. So more cool things coming down the pike for them as well. This is always a favorite, the Termageddon 15 pack. I know every year, they've done this probably 3 or 4 years in a row. Everybody talks about this inside the admin bar because you can just save so much money. 15 licenses, so that's like 15 client sites basically for $338 a year, saves $1,300. It's a very, very good deal. And look, Black Friday only. All purchases made before November 28th will be entered to win a $250 Amazon gift card, and anytime receive free swag from our shop, 1 free swag item per 15-pack purchase. So look at that. You get 15 Termageddon licenses, and you can get either a t-shirt, a fanny pack, a mug, or another shirt here. Houston, we have it. Man, I want that shirt. Hook me up with a shirt, Hans. Very cool. So yeah, now is the time to stock up on your Termageddon licenses. They have all kinds of good sales tools. So if you're not an agency partner, once you register with them, you can get a free set of licenses for your own agency, test out Termageddon for yourself. And then you get access to all their sales tools. So they have like email scripts and videos and flyers you can send and email sequences to go talk to your clients about privacy policies and terms of service and all those kinds of things. So they will help you sell all these. So it's kind of plug and play. And for all my clients, I just put this into my project proposals now and say, unless you have a lawyer on staff handling your privacy policies for you, you should probably just sign up for Termageddon. It's definitely affordable. It's going to cover you in all these different cases, and it's super easy to set up, especially with their new dashboard. Their new dashboard is fantastic. So now's a great time to stock up on those. All right, Dear Designer, 10% off for 3 months. WP Umbrella, like I said, theirs is 20% off. So it's not a huge discount, but 20% off is better than nothing for something you're probably going to sign up a lot of client sites for, but it's for new and existing users. So if you already have a WP Umbrella license, you're already using it, you can go to them right now and get this Black Friday deal to get 20% off of all your stuff, which is super cool because a lot of people don't offer that to existing customers. So good on them. Paid discovery class. I'll show you kind of the back end of that here in a few, but this is the class I've been putting together about selling paid discovery. It's just about done. I've been working my ass on it for the last month or so. I've been every day writing, recording videos. It's just about done. My plan is for it to go live on December 1st. So that was my deadline at this point. But right now it's $49. And then December 2nd, it's going to be $99. So if you want to check that out and start selling discovery, that will be ready very, very soon. Check view. We got Matt in here still. Thank you, Hans. Appreciate it. Check view's deal is really great too. You get your first 2 months for $2 and then 50% off of a full year. So really cool to be able to kind of test this out for basically no risk, $2 risk to test it out. Put some of your forms on there. Their automated flow, like you register your website inside of their SaaS platform. It finds your forms and then it'll go through and like manually set up all the or like automatically set up the test for you and make sure to test out all the right kind of fields and all that. It will bypass the spam blockers and all that. Matt has worked really, really hard on getting this to work really well. But for me, it was easy. I just told it what URL to go check. It went and found the form, filled it all out. And then I just get a report every time it runs and says, hey, your form was successful. So check view is awesome. I would definitely, if you're running care plans, and not using CheckView, I'm mentioning you in all my sales calls with clients by saying, yeah, a lot of people offer care plans, but they're not doing things like checking your forms every day or every week to make sure they're working. And if they're not doing that, you're probably missing money. So I'm using you as a way to sell my care plans if you're not using it. Kinsta's got a really great deal. I use Kinsta on a couple sites and I've sent a lot of clients there, but right now their deal is saving 50% off your first 6 months. So that's a pretty freaking good deal. So if you're interested in Kinsta right now is a great time. 6 months free on their annual plan. So you can get half a year free. That's really freaking good. I think that's the best hosting deal on here. A lot of the hosting, so we can see like Cloudways here, it's 50% off, but it's for 3 months. My Web Audit's got 50% off for 3 months. Modular DS, I know a lot of people have moved over to this to manage all their websites, and they've been sponsoring the newsletter as well. I know my buddy Ben is got a bunch of things moved over there and really happy with it. Let's see what else we got here. And a huge thanks to all the people who've sponsored this page and made it possible. Equalize Digital has 30% off of their all their plugins and courses. So their plugin is the accessibility checker plugin, which you just install on your site and it automatically scans your site as you're going to tell you if there's any accessibility issues. But they also have some courses on here. So I took the VoiceOver screen reader testing course a couple months ago. It was awesome. It's helped me so much in like testing my sites with the screen reader just because I didn't know how to use a screen reader. But it was a really, really great course. And then they just launched this how to position and sell accessibility offers. I want to pick this up this Black Friday, $102.90. But definitely want to check that out because I think that's a great way for us to separate ourselves from the pack by offering accessibility. And accessibility services are not cheap. So if you want to raise some of your invoice prices, offering accessibility is a great way to do it. So I think that course will definitely be worth it. All right, what else do we got here? Perf Matters, 30% off. I think that's the only deal they do throughout the year is 30% off. So you can go snag that now. Now is a good time. Most of the admin bar products are 40% off. I think they're all listed on here. Look, 60% off WP extended lifetime plan. So didn't we just check the page and it said 40% off? But this one's exclusive for Tab, 60% off. So I know a minute ago somebody said, hey, I'm going to go check out. Here we go, David. Make sure you check this link. wpextended.io/tab-black-friday because you'll get 60% off lifetime access. So that's 50 sites for $99, unlimited sites for $199, or a single site for $39.60. So that is a great deal. 50 sites will do probably most people for $100, and that's lifetime access. That's a no-brainer. That's a great deal, Taylor. I appreciate you hooking up Tab members. Thank you, sir. If for some weird reason you're ever wanting to have a sore throat, start a live stream and then talk for 37 minutes. My throat felt fine this morning, and now it feels like I'm dying. So I'm sure I'll be sick after this. Great. All right. Yeah. And then we have a whole huge list of the rest of the deals on here. I actually was testing out, this is Brave, but they have some, everything has an AI tool now. But you can ask this, like, what are the biggest percentages off or which deals are valid now? But I was playing around with using the AI features in here to try to find deals on here. But like I said, over 100 deals on here. Huge thanks to everybody who's sponsored a deal on here, including lots of the folks that are on this call. Do appreciate you. If you got a deal and you want to get it listed, you can click this little link at the top. There's free listings here, which are those ones kind of at the bottom of the page. We still have a few bronze deals left and I think there's a couple silvers left. 3 silver deals remaining. So if we go back and look at this, this style here are the bronze ones. These are the silver ones. So I know there's quite a few bronze left, a few silver left if you want to try to get in on that before Black Friday is over. All right. You're welcome, David. All right, paid discovery class. So I thought I'd show you behind the scenes bit on this. I'm using my ThriveCart. That's what I use for all my checkout stuff. I'm using their platform, which is called Learn, to host like the LMS for this. It seems to work okay. I was able to get everything kind of working the way I wanted to. But right over here, you'll see all the modules. There's 4 modules in here. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then all of the lessons inside here. So I tried to go back through all the lessons and instead of just putting a transcript in each one of the videos, there is a transcript. I'll show you that in a minute. But instead of putting a transcript in all these, I kind of did what would I write down as the notes from each one of these videos? So if you just wanted the, TLDR version of all these videos, those are listed in text in here. And then I've gone through and done closed captions for all these. So all the videos have captions on them. Got all those uploaded this morning. So those are good to go. The whole course runtime is just shy of an hour, and that was very much on purpose. I found, and I know I've talked with course makers that make a course and sell it, based on the idea that it's like, oh, you get 8 hours of content, and then people finish 1 or 2 lessons and then drop off. So my idea with this is you could pencil out an hour on Friday and go throughout this entire course and have everything you need. And that's especially true because of all the bonus resources. So there's a sales email in here. There's my sales deck, which is kind of like a PDF type thing you can send to clients to sell, paid discovery. There's my questions bank. So it's like all the questions I asked during a discovery session. The audience map, which is kind of like a tool I use in discovery to help us figure out like their ideal customer and the customer journeys and stuff like that. And then, like I said, there's a transcript of the entire course. Let's see, we'll open this up. So I basically took all the closed captions, everything for the entire course, and put it into just a Google Doc. So it's very, very long. Word count is almost 8,000 words long. So if you prefer reading to watching video, you can also take the course that way. Everything that's in the course is here, other than like being able to see me screen share and show stuff off. But all the transcripts there, all the closed captioning. I've had some people ask about being able to do it in other language and stuff. You could take the transcription and have it translated, but I can't perform that service. Sweet. One more thing I wanted to show off. I guess we'll go on the back end of my YouTube. I've been trying to get ahead of my publishing schedule here. So I think at one point I was like 6 videos ahead, but right now I got 4 that are scheduled ahead. One that I just recorded this morning that's going to come out this Wednesday. I moved it way up in the production schedule or the release schedule. In the latest Generate Blocks release, which is just an alpha right now, they added a carousel block, which I think is going to get all the attention. I already did a video on it, which you can see down here. But one of the other things in this update was the ability to do grid areas inside of, I'll show you the riches. The ability to do grid areas inside the editor. So you could do grid areas before, but you just have to go write CSS for it. But now you actually have the ability to set up all your grid areas inside the editor. And if you haven't used CSS grid areas before, they're really freaking cool. So I tried to there's tons of tutorials out there on how to do grid areas. Most of them kind of just show you a bento layout, which I end up showing you too. But I tried to make it really easy if you've not used grid areas before, kind of get an idea of how it works. Showed Adam this morning. He seemed to think it was okay, but that one should be cool. Finishing that Brutalist series that I've been working on. There's 2 more that will come out in that. And then I did one on using the shape block to put in an SVG versus using the image block to put in an SVG. There's some cool differences between those. I think this is one of the better videos I made, but it's not scheduled until December 17th. However, I did set up, because I had somebody ask, I set up where you can become a member on the channel. I think it's $5 a month, and then you just get access to all the videos that aren't published yet. So if you're just itching to get a hold of these or want to support me, $5 a month, and you can get any of those that are scheduled. And then here we go. Taylor wants to know all the money I'm making. In fact, I just got paid by YouTube the other day. I promise you I'm not living off of YouTube. Let's see. There we go. $189 is my average monthly income from YouTube. So it's not real great. I don't do it for the money, obviously, but that's okay. Sweet. I'm going to unshare. Yeah, it is a couple desk timers. Look, desk timer is right here on my desk. Actually, I took that. I do it for the fame. Actually, that in the newsletter, I had talked about this desk timer. I actually took it outside and took photographs of it for the newsletter, which was fun. I'm sure the neighbors thought I was crazy. I was trying to get a good shot with like all the leaves and stuff in the background. Yeah, I wish somebody emailed me back. They replied to the newsletter and said that they just went to go buy one. And they said that they got the last ugly salmon colored one. There was no more left after they got it. So they got the last one. Sweet. Well, we'll wrap it up there. I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. I would love to know if y'all are picking up any of these Black Friday deals. Yeah, it's coral. It's ugly. It is very ugly. It's the ugliest thing on my desk. And I've played with the little battery compartment so much that it's just loose and falls out all the time. No deals for Jonathan. Well, good deals for Jonathan's Pie Calendar, for Matt in Checkview, for WP Extended, and Taylor for Termageddon, the 15-pack plus a shirt or a mug or whatever, fanny pack if you're into fanny packs. So good deals for the folks here for sure. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there. I do appreciate everybody going and taking 5 minutes to go vote in the WP Weekly Awards. Do really appreciate that. We'll find out the results like mid-December. Almost every year it gets pushed back. Like they say it's going to come out this day and then it ends up coming out later. So I'll be a little bit nervous between now and then, but if you would go make your vote, that'd make me feel better. Matt says he might pick up Perf Matters. It's a good time to do it. 30% off. All right, David, appreciate you voting. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all coming and hanging out today. Hopefully you found some things interesting in here. And I got, like I said, video coming out this Wednesday, so should have content between now and the end of the year, all scheduled and good to go. And for you guys in the States, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I'm going to take most of Wednesday off, all of Thursday off, and then I'll be back Friday to do a little bit of work. But I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. Find some good deals out there. And we'll catch you all in the next one. All right. Bye, y'all.